Freddie was actually called Frederica, but when she learned about the gender pay gap, had decided she wanted a name where you can't tell if I'm a girl or a boy on my CV, so they can't discriminate. She's smart. Smarter than me. Freddie relaxed into my lap and I inhaled the scent of her. Watermelon body lotion and hairspray lightly dancing through her loose ombre mane. I paid good money to get my roots a darker brown and my tips a lighter colour, but hers annoyingly went that way naturally. "Thank you for being my flawless bridesmaid," I whispered. "You're my best girl." "You're my best girl," she whispered back. Then she had a thought, twisting up her nose in distaste. "But have you got a tic-tac? Your breath smells." I squealed, reaching to blow a raspberry on the back of her neck a beat too late. She'd already wriggled from my grasp in glee. "Not the lip gloss!" Adzo howled, lunging over to separate us. "I've never made somebody look so good." Freddie bounded over to the other side of the room, and mindful of my dress, I moved comically in slow motion to chase after her. To her luck, we were interrupted by the arrival of my dad, as he let himself into the room with the key card we'd left at reception. We froze, collectively aware that playtime was over, and wedding days were probably supposed to be a more serious affair than we were currently demonstrating. "Daddy!" Freddie padded towards him. "We've had the best night. We had afternoon tea and pizza in bed." He was wearing his favourite navy blue suit and a fat red tie with a matching patterned handkerchief in his top pocket, his long Norwegian limbs looking longer than ever in his tailoring. He already had a tiny flute lily in his buttonhole, made to match my bouquet. Putting his arm around Freddie, he took a breath and beamed at me. "So this is you on your wedding day, Frugal," he said as a way of greeting, taking me in as I stood before him. I grinned back. Seeing his eyes glisten made me tear up too, rendering me mute. Bloody weddings. You think you'll be all nonchalant and not like all those other brides, and then bam, it hits you. You're just as sappy and emotional as the next chick in white. "You look beautiful," he said. "Truly beautiful." Freddie tugged on his arm, slipping her hand into his. I said she looked regal. "Queen of the world," Dad smiled, and Adzo waved a tissue in front of my face in anticipation of what was to come. "Dab, don't wipe," she instructed sternly. "Gently dab or you'll smudge it all." I took a deep breath. My wedding day. The dress was designer. Dad was walking me down the aisle, and I was taking Alexander's last name in less than an hour. Before I started wedding planning, if you'd have asked me how traditional I'd be on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd have said a 2 or a 3. Adzo and I had talked endlessly about how to be a strong, independent woman who just happened to be committing her life to someone. So much of what was expected of the bride was rooted in the notion that she was somebody's property, i.e. being given away, and valuable because she was pure and untouched, hence the virginal white dress. In our lunch break one day, Adzo had wondered if Alexander would double-barrel our surnames, or even take mine, and I considered asking him. But when it came down to it, I actually found huge comfort in the age-old traditions of a conventional wedding day, and gave in to almost all of them without much of a fight. I wanted the ritual of it all, the history and the expectation. My only outward feminist declaration was that I was going to give a speech at dinner before anyone else. At my friend Joe's wedding, she tapped the microphone and said, "Good evening. Thanks for coming today. My magnificent father and wonderful best man and handsome new husband are going to give their speeches in a minute," at which point everyone roared and cheered. "But I'll be giving one first, because over my dead body am I letting a bunch of men speak for me," at which point everyone roared and cheered even louder. I'd thought she was hilarious. Mum thought it was crass for the bride to speak, but I wanted to do the same. "Right then, Mrs. Mackenzie, are you ready?" Dad said, his face suddenly falling. "Crikey, Mrs. Mackenzie, you're not going to be a wig anymore." He turned to Freddie and, in a mock-serious voice, insisted, "Don't you ever get married, okay? You're the next generation wig. We need you to carry on the family name." Freddie playfully rolled her eyes. "Dad?" "I know, Fred, but you won't understand how it feels until you have your own kids who grow up and stun you with the people they've become."